If you're a new player, never skip out on a free-to-play unit. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are continuing our beginner's guide. We are talking about how to acquire new units through various free-to-play methods. In previous videos, we discussed the unit basics. We talked about the typing system, the kit system, the hidden potential, and the link skill system. All of these things focus on how a unit works in the context of itself and the units around it. Then we talked about how to acquire new units through various summoning banners, right? What banners you should spend your premium currencies on as a new player. Now in videos following this one, we are going to discuss how to awaken your units and therefore manage your resources and items. From there, once all is said and done, we are going to put it all together and talk about taking on challenges with our teams. You guys are going to help me build a team of your choosing with everything that we've learned thus far. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead, we're going to hop in, and we're going to talk about the various types of free-to-play units you can acquire. So first and foremost, the most common type of acquirable unit is from drop methods, right? So if you look here on the Dokkan Wiki, I have the list of freely available characters. These are all characters that are dropped from various different story events, Dokkan events, special events, characters that can be bought or purchased in the Baba shop for different types of currency, characters that can have their currency grinded out via the story method, like this free-to-play Vegito, who we're actually going to talk about here in a minute, characters from Dragon Ball stories, and other types of characters. You can also acquire characters from events like Prime Battles. You can acquire characters through the friend summon banner here. Where did it go? It's all the way up here at the top. Here it is. The friend summon banner you can acquire units from, and other Dokkan type events. So from here, we're going to talk about what units you should prioritize as a new player. First and foremost, the obvious answer is the Battle Smart Brawlers, Team Bardock, and the Ginyu Force, right? These two free-to-play teams are available to be recruited every day of the week, depending on the type. You should, as a new player, prioritize them. Now, I won't do a full in-depth guide of how to recruit all of them here. I have two guides drummed up for you guys already on that. I will link them in the description down below and add them to this beginner's guide playlist. But know that basically starting on Sunday evening, Monday morning, you can begin to recruit the AGL units for each of the teams. So on the Ginyu and the Bardock, that is Borgos and Birder. On Tuesday, you can recruit the tech units. That's Tora and Goldo here. On Wednesday, you can recruit the Int units, Fasha and Ginyu. On Thursday, you can recruit Jace and Bardock, and on Friday you can recruit Raccoon and Shugas. My recommendation as a new player is you spend the 2 weeks it's going to take you more than likely to grind out all of these characters and get them fully awakened. The game gives you everything you need to grind them out. It gives you free hidden potential orbs for each of them. And it gives you their awakening medals from the missions to awaken all of them. So I highly recommend you spend the time doing that. Once you've grinded out all of them, the game will give you missions to complete to get the LR leaders for each of these characters, right? And that's simply all you have to do is complete these guys, activate all of their hidden potentials, and you will get the LR leaders for both of them. And then you can use not premium, but you can use acquired currency to purchase out the rest of them that you need. So my recommendation is to get all of these guys as soon as you can, and then Extreme Z Awaken them. Once you've collected both and you've gotten the LR leaders, you can take on their Extreme Z area event and then Extreme Z Awaken them. Once Extreme Z Awaken, they become very, very powerful and can be easily used to take down just about any Dokkan event you would need to take down your units. I want to remind you, as a new free-to-play player, you do not need to rush through to get your units awakened. It's going to be a while, but the most helpful thing you can do, the best advice I can give you as someone who went through this myself starting in Worldwide of 2020, take the time to grind these out. You'll find yourself getting very, very frustrated trying to take on Dokkan events without a proper team, and these guys provide you a proper team. Now, should the event ever become available, there is another free-to-play team I think you should prioritize, and that is the Metal Cooler Squad here, which can be acquired from this event here. You simply load into the event when it comes back with the Wicked Bloodline team and grind out all of the Metal Coolers, awaken them with the medals acquired from this event and this event, and you can fully awaken them and then take on their Extreme Z stage and awaken them there. So definitely recommend prioritizing them. From there, at that point, you are at the mercy of the global or JP Dokkan schedule for what other units you can acquire, right? And the easiest way to figure out is whenever there is a new campaign, take a look at the campaign info, see what events, if there's any new Dragon Ball story events coming back, or any new story events that are reopening, right? So we are currently in the Dokkan Festival Yamcha Part 2 celebration on Global Dokkan leading into Golden Week as I'm recording this video, and we did get a new Dragon Ball story event which allows us to recruit 3 free-to-play characters, a Videl, a Trunks Kid, and Goten, who on Global recently got their awakening and are actually quite good, right? So you'll never want to miss out on those when they drop. So I always recommend, as soon as an event drops and you have the stamina, take your time and grind them out. During this campaign, there were also 2 other story events that returned, as well as a revamp of a Super Strike event. These Super Strike events, I think, can we get a look at all of them? I think we can if we go over here to the SR characters, right? Yeah, here they all are, because they drop as SRs, right? So these Super Strike characters are all getting awakenings as of recently, so I do recommend you grind out all of them. Not all are the best, right? Some are better than others, but it's nice to have them if you need to fill out a team, right? If you're running a free-to-play Vegeta's Family team, for example, this guy's a great support unit along with the free-to-play Kid Vegeta here. Both of these units would make great free-to-play additions to a Vegeta's Family team. If you have enough androids, right? This guy works really well on an Android Cell Saga team. If you are building a Wicked Bloodline team, because you started the game back during Worldwide last year, but you're still missing a few Wicked Bloodline units, these guys can help, right? So definitely recommend whenever the Super Strike events are available that you take down the events that are available. The Super Strike events come back on the daily, like the Ginyu and the Bardox, right? So any Super Strike character that is AGL will come back on Sunday, Monday, Tech Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for Int on Tuesday, Wednesday. On STR, you'll get Wednesday, Thursday, and then you can pick up any Fizz Super Strikes on Thursday, Friday. So they do follow that schedule. So I definitely recommend doing that whenever they become available. Otherwise, the rest of the freely available characters, whether they drop as an SR or an SSR, we scroll down here, right? You're at the mercy of the schedule, right? Whenever these events return is when you can recruit them. There are However, some more powerful free-to-play characters that aren't available from story events, and those are the Prime Battle free-to-play characters. These Prime Battle events are some of the hardest free-to-play events, especially as someone who's starting out, so I definitely don't recommend that you take them on until you've built a solid team on the category that they require, simply because grinding them out can take a very, very long time, especially if the event doesn't have a increased drop category. So like, for example, right now the Gohan and the Tien do not have an increased drop rate, but a lot of these others do. But even then, it still takes a lot, right? Like if we open one of these, right, like because Krillin's about to get an easy A, for example, so we'll look at his event, right? If you were to take on Krillin's events, you can only use free-to-play recruitable characters. So you can only use characters that have been recruited from one of these events, no matter what it is. Can be the Ginyu, which will help you, but it's not an increased drop rate, right? But it could be the Ginyu squad, could be the Bardock squad, it could be anybody from this list of events here, as long as they were recruited, not from the Baba shop or anything, but from a story event. Then they can be used to take on these. So it can be very hard to take these on, and you can see, right, the stages get increasingly harder all the way up to a 25 stamina super stage, which can be hard as a new free-to-play player. And when you look at the actual medals required to grind out one of these characters, right, it can be difficult, right? You look at the Krillin here, for example, to awaken him to his TUR, it only takes 15 medals, but then to get him to LR, it takes 777 medals. So know that you'll be grinding these characters a lot when they come back. The Prime Battles do follow the schedule, right? So they will come back on the day according to their typing, or on the weekends for Super or Extreme days. But again, it'll take you a while, right? Because you'll want to grind out 2 copies of these, to get 777 medals twice, totaling in 1,554, which can take a while, especially in these events. I remember when I first started, I tried to take on the Goku event with barely a put-together free-to-play team, and it's actually quite difficult. It's a little bit easier now in the current meta, but it can be hard without the proper units. So make sure you save these for when you're ready to take them down. But the characters, once Extremely Awakened, can really, really help you out as a new free-to-play player once you are ready. Some other ways to acquire free-to-play units is through ticket summons via the World Tournament. If you have the ability to participate in the World Tournament because you've at least built a team, you can pick up characters from guaranteed featured SSR banners. These are technically free-to-play units. Now they can't be used to take on free-to-play banners that are free-to-play events that require drop characters, but they're still free-to-play units and can be used. So definitely recommend, if you have the ability to, try to pick up some of the characters from this event here. Other ways to pick up free-to-play characters, again, coming back to the list, I mentioned the Baba shop, right? There are lots of characters that can be traded from the Baba shop, which can then be used to, let's see, where is it? I have it here somewhere. They're hiding. No, did I close it out? I think I accidentally closed it out. All right, well, we'll just open the Baba treasure shop up here, right? So if you look in the Baba treasure shop, right, there are all kinds of things that you can use to acquire different characters, whether it's acquiring these type support units for Baba points, whether it's acquiring characters from different types of, here it is, the event treasures, right? Different types of event treasures, whether they are blue incredible gems, green incredible gems, whether they are things like, not the secret treasure chest, that's not what we wanted, right? Gourmet chocolates for picking up this. This is from a Majin Buu Saga story event. Hercule's badge for picking up awakening medals. I think that's pretty much it. That gives us actual characters. Oh, the Dragon Ball Super event, the Pineko plushies, you can pick up the Gammas through this since they aren't dropped by the event itself. So you can pick up various units from here. Now again, for Prime Battle purposes, right, characters picked up through the Baba Shop through any of these methods can't be used. Other characters that can be picked up are characters from the Battlefield Memory Shop. Now, these characters are very, very limited. They are hard to pick up. They cost a lot, and Battlefield itself is very, very hard. If you've seen any of my guides on it, you can see even for me, it's still kind of hard sometimes, depending on what you're doing. For any of the characters, right? Even some of the older ones. Like this guy just got an easy A, and he still costs quite a lot. So definitely keep in mind that if you're going to invest in any of the characters here, that it's going to take a while to build up the currency necessary, right? Even me, who's somebody who started in 2020, still doesn't have enough currency to pick up a lot of these characters, right? I used a lot of my currency to rainbow the Shadow Dragons and Easy A and rainbow this guy, and it's still taking me a while to get back to be ready for Hachiak when he comes. So just keep that in mind. So again, there are various methods to acquire free-to-play units. The main ones you want to prioritize in the beginning are the Ginyu Force, the Bardock squad, and that free-to-play Cooler squad. After that, once different events become available during the Dokkan campaigns, take advantage, grind out the units, because a lot of them can be very, very good. So please take your time as a new player, grind these units out, use them to their fullest ability, because a lot of them can have a lot of good use. So make sure you don't miss out. I did want to mention before I forget, right, that let's find it again. Limited treasures, is it here? No. It's event treasures, right? No, it wasn't there. Oh, well, let's just come back here. So the free-to-play Vegito that I showed you guys, the one we clicked on to get over there, this guy here, he is definitely one you need to spend your time getting. I have a full guide of how to grind him out, which I will also link in the description. You'll see it next to the Ginyu and the Bardock squad grinding guides, but definitely recommend as a new free-to-play player you spend your time grinding out story mode to get the medals and the items needed to awaken this guy, because he is definitely worth it. He is really, really good. But other than that, you know, those are the main ones you should prioritize, and, you know, whenever the units become available via story events, take advantage and grind them out, so you have the ability to fill out a team and take on the events to awaken your summonable units when the time comes. So anyways, guys, that is the video. That is how to acquire various free-to-play characters. It's pretty straightforward. Just know that there is kind of an order of priority you should start with. But if you guys liked this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know when you started out, what were the free-to-play characters available? I'm kind of curious, right? When I first started, it was right during the tail end of the worldwide celebration. So some of the first free-to-play characters I was able to grind were actually the Halloween units. Funny enough, one of my first free-to-play characters, aside from the Prime Battle Goku here, was actually that Int Bulma. That was the year that I was able to pick her up. So, curious where everybody else started with in terms of free-to-play characters. So, otherwise, guys, if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.